everyone! It's a nice evening in my garden. It's raining, but I know that my black-eyed Susans are not going to bloom for a long time, so I want to film this area in my garden to show you around. It's a fairly new design because when winter comes, I'm going to be the first one to drool over these pictures, this beautiful lush foliage, and remember beautiful summer. So come with me for a tour of my interesting corner of my garden. So when this garden was here, when I saw it for the first time, it was just everything, just imagine, everything was grass here. And this area just didn't exist. All this didn't exist. There was just one ugly fence, a mesh fence, and all we can see is our neighbor's backyard. So the first thing, beautiful arborvitaes came in. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arborvitaes. They came in and I worried that they're going to have a little bit of not enough of sun here because they're in a little shade here. But I feed them well, I water them well. Look how nice they look. They are such lush green foliage they have. I feed them well and I water them well, especially when they go into winter, because they need a lot of water going into winter, and they look good. They're actually growing very well here. They are like nice, beautiful giants growing here. Eventually they will grow higher. We will trim these branches because they will be in the way, and they will form a nice, beautiful wall here. Now, this wall I also built. You see that raised stone wall? It was just grass there. I thought it would be a nice design addition. So we raised the bed there, the soil level. It looks good. Unfortunately, it's an honorable home for family of chipmunks, which are really a destroying presence in our garden sometimes. But they are so cute and my daughter loves them. They live in those stones. Here we have pink azalea. It's a nice mature bush. Look how nicely, and I never trim it. So you see it just grows gracefully where it wants to spread, and it has a nice natural shape here. Now behind azalea, all that area was bare, so we could see our back neighbors there too. So what we did, our neighbors were getting rid of Rose of Sharon, and you see those big nice bushes, and I knew that Rose of Sharon is so dependable. They are really drought tolerant shrubs, and I just planted them there. I trim them every year for them to become nice and bushy, and they create a nice backdrop of green leaves. This way our neighbors have their privacy and we have our privacy. This guy is a self-seeder, believe it or not, and he's growing here well, doing good in shade, not being bothered by drought conditions here because it's kind of dry here. I also trim all these long shoots, I trim, and they keep Rose of Sharon in check in a way. Now when we look here, I showed you in my last video, this area was so well planted by me this spring, but unfortunately our maple tree grew a lot, and that branch extended so much that the shade from the branch moved all the way here. This area was actually a sunny area last year, but this year it is not. So this area has to be redesigned again. I plant here my beautiful rose. It's not doing very well. I planted the area of boxwoods and they're doing exceptionally good because boxwoods love shade. Now between boxwoods, look at this. I had a little trick here. Between boxwoods I planted parsley. Parsley can grow anywhere, and boxwoods don't mind to share space with parsley right now. Next year I will just take parsley away. I will harvest it this year. Parsley is a biennial. But it's okay, I will harvest it this year and that's it. And I will just leave boxwoods to grow and mature. And they go all the way around here, all coming here. As you can see, they're growing nicely. And here we have entrance into this kind of a back side of our garden. Here we also have a future row of boxwoods growing. And because we have a lot of sun here, I also tried to plant parsley to give a little bit of shade to little boxwood babies. Now the ground cover here, the design here for this corner is, for this ground cover, winker, to eventually cover all this area. You see how I'm inviting it to go there, and it's growing happily. I make sure I water it. As for this guy for 2 years, it's Manhattan euonymus. It was growing for 2 years in my fence there, and I was kind of disregarding it, letting it grow. And then one day I thought to myself, I can dig him up and try to make a topiary out of him, because he has such a long stem there, you see. So that's what I did. I digged him up, I planted him here, and I know euonymus is such fast growing shrubs, but it's okay. I will trim it here, and eventually will trim him in some sort of topiary here. So this area, shady, dry area, would be occupied by this handsome topiary. Now, when we come here, you can see Boxwood rose. The future Boxwood is coming here. And look at these bricks. These bricks are vintage bricks. I salvaged them from the recyclable center in our town. And look at these beautiful almost 100-year-old bricks, 1926, the time bricks were made, and also Styles, the name of the company. There is one brick, a funny little brick called Tuttle. Let me see where it is. I forgot where it is. Let me see, maybe, oh, here it is. Look at this, a little Tuttle. Funny brick. My kids remember the names by now. You see? So it's good to have a vintage presence in the garden. These bricks are going to age very well, and we'll have a nice vintage charm between, you know, separating grass from the flower bed. We have beautiful bird bath for our birdies. So birds have a feeder right here, and then they go to the water right there together with chipmunks. But this plant is the most interesting of them all. I think it's a pokeberry. It's a weed. And one year it started growing there in the middle of our little arbor here. And since we have the bird feeder right there, birds would literally kill anything which would grow underneath there. So I would plant annuals, perennials. I would try shrubs there, and everything would be just killed by birds jumping around, and squirrels. So one year this guy started growing there, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, what is this? But it became such a success story here. What happens, it is such a strong grower, and it grows within a month so much that actually squirrels give up climbing on this arbor here, because they cannot really overwin this plant. So, a lot of rain here. So from now on, I keep this guy here. He recedes in the garden. It's okay, I don't mind. Oh, the rain is falling down. Oh gosh, all right. So this guy is here, happily growing, and I'm keeping it here, even if he is a weed. By the way, I read somewhere that the rumors, not the rumors, the legend says that the Constitution of America was written by the ink produced from these little berries. They are going to mature into dark purplish burgundy color. They will be looking quite different, but they're very poisonous. So my kids know very well not to even touch these guys, not to eat these guys, because they can be very poisonous. Now, underneath here we have Six Hills Nepeta trying to overgrow its boundaries, so I have to trim it back, because I have here my precious boxwoods growing, and I don't, look at this. This boxwood got so much sun damage here, poor thing. I don't know if he's going to survive the winter. The same with this. These three boxwoods are under question to survive winter, but that's okay. On another side of my property, I planted extra boxwoods, like 12 of them, just in case something would not survive. I have a substitution. Thank you for coming with me on my tour. It feels good under the rain, nice mist. Happy gardening, and I will see you next time.